Folks, no other election in the history of Kenya has had so much God in it. Both sides of the political divide are invoking the name of God. If truth be told, it has gone way overboard. You know, politics is such that people follow trends and fashion. Yeah? So if people all of a sudden start mentioning God, every Tom, Dick and Harry mentions God out of context, mentions God without understanding what they're saying. Now don't get me wrong, God is for all of us. Yes, He created all of us. He loves all of us dearly. Indeed, when Jesus Christ moved on this earth, it was clear that the Pharisees and the high priests believed that God would not move any other place except through them. And they were high priests, they were servants of God, and they were wrong. So coming back to my point, every politician, Tom, Dick and Harry, has suddenly become a prophet. Every politician, Tom, Dick and Harry, suddenly knows that God is definitely on their side, and they're very sure. Every rabidly tribal supporter of a political party suddenly knows that God is on their side. And the truth is, it gets very confusing. Now, God is not a God of confusion. Now, chances are that you do not know much about God. You do not know much about what is happening in Kenya. Chances are that you're very confused. My hope and prayer is that after listening to this series, your confusion will end today. You will for sure know God's mind over Kenya, and indeed God's mind over the entire continent of Africa, and God's mind on the world, the globe, yeah, the entire earth today. Now I hope we are very clear that God has no problem, yeah. God does not have to break into a sweat to get His message to any of His creations. Yes, I hope we're very clear on that. And I'm not talking about individuals like myself, like you listening to this recording. Okay? Let us get that very clear. And it really doesn't matter who you are. Okay? Now I'm going to deliver this message in the form of a chain of events that happened to me. Okay, that's why I told you that God has no problem getting His message across, yeah, to anybody. So let me deliver this message in the form of a chain of events, yeah. You make up your mind for yourself. I cannot make up your mind for you. I cannot force you to think in a certain way. Yes, yeah. Let me just give you the facts, the chain of events that happened to me, and then you make up your mind. If you want to ignore what I believe is a very clear message, a very clear clarification to all Kenyans, yeah, that's fine with me. Okay, I have no problem. If I'm wrong, you're fine. However, if I'm right, you'll have to deal with your God. Yeah, I'm not involved, yeah, because I will have done my part. Now, this thing started yesterday when a member of this channel, yeah, or a member of Club 1999, I've not been able to establish which is which, sent me a very interesting clip. Now, as you can imagine, I'm very busy. But this guy sent me a clip. You know how long? 1 hour and. Now, this clip was just of a normal service of a preacher somewhere in Zimbabwe. Yes. And it was just a normal service. And as I started taking in the clip, I decided, because every information, I never ignore any information, never. Yeah, I just make sure I just try my best to get around to every bit of information I receive from wherever. A lot of information I receive is useless. A lot of it propaganda, a lot of it blah blah blah. But I try my best to go through every bit of information. So I said to myself, I'll forward this thing quickly, go through the, make sure I forward it in a way that I'll not miss anything, but in a way that I'll finish listening to it very quickly. It didn't happen like that. And bang in the middle of this very long recording, hey, bombshell. This preacher picks out this lady from the audience, and by the way, this is a Zimbabwean audience, and an audience from other African countries, Zimbabwe and so on, yeah? So I'm just listening to it and I'm wondering, this is not relevant to Kenya. What was this guy sending me? What was he thinking sending me this thing to, yeah? Sending me this long clip for, yeah? So this preacher suddenly picks out a lady from the audience. And he says, to cut a very long story short, he says this lady was sent, yeah, to get an answer from him. And guess who sent this lady? Somebody very high up in the Jubilee High Command. And she had been sent to inquire about God's mind over Kenya, you know. In other words, the Jubilee High Command were asking, what is happening? Yeah, why are things so difficult for us as a political party? Yeah, why have things gone wrong? Yeah, in an unprecedented way. Yes, what is God's mind? What is God's plan for Kenya? Why are we suffering as the Jubilee Party? Why is there so much resistance? You know, why is God not helping us? And yet our leader is chosen by God. Yes, this is now the Jubilee Party talking. Okay, now in the next episode of this series, I will tell you about the amazing answer from that preacher. Yeah, the response that preacher gave. It's definitely not what you think. Okay, catch you there in a bit. This is Kshs Kumekucha.